I'm not here to demean anybody. I'm not here to put anybody down, so to speak. I'm here to investigate. I can anticipate from my past experience, 35 years of it in this business, that it will probably be essentially the same story that it's been every place else in the world. People who innocently deceive themselves, and that small residual of people who go out of their way to actually defraud the rest of their fellow citizens. I can lose $10,000, but I would gladly surrender that $10,000 if I were given evidence of one paranormal ability of any kind, because it would open my universe much larger than it is. It's a wonderful universe I live in. I enjoy life from day to day. I have my ups and downs like everyone else, but I think it is a wonderful world that we live in. I don't need miracles of a semi-religious nature, as they put it, in order to make my world any better. But to be offered something like that, to know that a person could float in the air, could find concealed water underground, could bend a spoon by merely thinking about it, that would make my universe 100 times bigger than it is, and all the more marvelous. It would be worth $10,000.
In the arid inland of Australia, water is priceless because it doesn't rain very often. So farmers must pump it from underground. But first they have to find it. And throughout Australia, many farmers sink their bores on the advice of men who claim a paranormal or supernatural power, the ability to detect or divine the presence of unseen water underground. The belief is widespread, and it's been entrenched for hundreds of years. James Randi is here to test it, and he's frankly skeptical.
And I am told from my correspondence here and from other people who have been here that this seems to be a very popular delusion, the idea that people can douse them with a fork stick or bent coat hangers or whatever, that they can actually find water. Well, if they can, all well and good. Again, my concern is not how they do it, but if they do it.
Maybe it's mental, maybe it's a psychic power that's tied up with the brain itself.
Do you feel any different after you've been divining?
No, not really.
Can you do it any time of the day or night?
Any time of the day or night, any place.
The cream of Australia's diviners gather in Sydney to take up the $30,000 challenge of the skeptical trio: Dick Smith, Philip Adams, and James Randi.
The idea is it's really very hard to keep it perfectly level, and relaxing your hand the slightest bit, it'll come up or it'll go down, one or the other, and you can't see any apparent movement of the hand. It's actually a tense system which is out of balance, and it's very hard to keep it in balance.
Randy, what don't you believe in?
I don't believe that 2 + 2 = 5. I don't believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and the Easter Bunny. The first I don't believe simply because, by definition, 2 + 2 = 4, and always will, one hopes. I don't believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, or the Easter Bunny because there's not sufficient evidence for them. At the same breath, I don't believe in ESP, precognition, water divining, spoon benders, and whatnot because there's not sufficient evidence for them either.
On Sydney's outskirts, a team of workmen begin preparing the site for Australia's first definitive test of water divining. The test has been designed with the complete agreement of the water diviners themselves. 10 parallel trenches are dug to take 10 plastic water pipes. The diviners will have to detect in which pipe the water is flowing.
I think we'll find that, in fact, I'm sure there'll be a result, and possibly 10 results tomorrow, the way things are looking.
You think the 10 diviners will be able to get it right?
I'll be very surprised if the 10 of them do not.
What's your success rate in water divining?
100%. And I think that this test should go beyond any shadow of doubt and prove to the public generally that water divining is possible, does work, and will work.
They're very confident words.
I'm sure, well, if you've had success at this game, you become confident.
The morning of the test arrives, and there are last-minute preparations, with meticulous attention to detail. The $30,000 is now $40,000. Another skeptic has thrown his money into the ring.
Get going now.
I sent those down to you. I sent a box of pens and a lot of blank paper.
Roger, thank you.
It is obviously essential to avoid any claims of trickery or deception by both sides. The test must be as fair as possible and a valid scientific exercise. Throughout Australia, water diviners are earning good money by telling farmers where to sink their bores. And now the cream of them are about to put their claims to the test.
Are you satisfied with the conditions?
They appear to be quite okay, Bob, yes. Everything that we have asked for so far has been met with, and I think this is fair enough. This is as much as can be expected.
First, before any water is turned on, each diviner checks the area to make sure it's clear of interference.
It seems clear. Clear.
You find it's clear. Okay, get right in the square, Ted. Clear. Okay?
Put it back in the bag, replace it now. Now we're going to turn on number 9 right in front of you to see what happens. I want you to go back to that position as soon as we've turned it on. And then you will come down here and ascertain that you get the dowsing reaction here. As soon as it's open, let me know.
And now, with the diviner's knowledge, water is sent flowing through pipe number 9.
Okay, gentlemen, we will turn off this first, please.
For candidate number 1, the test proper begins. The diviner is not told the correct result, which is scrutinised by the Reverend Ted Knopfs. After each run, a different pipe is chosen at random. The diviner is not allowed to watch.
That's number 6 in the back.
Was the sensation that you got walking over pipe 4 the same as it was when you walked over pipe 9 when you knew that the water was in pipe 9?
Yes.
Exactly the same?
Just the same.
He divined number 4.
Yes.
Which pipe was the water running through?
Well, I'm not supposed to know that, because I'm supposed to be doing this in a double-blind fashion.
Yeah, but I mean...
And if I knew even, I wouldn't reveal it to you now, because people are standing here watching. You have a reporter less than a foot behind your shoulder, and you would know it too.
Did he get the right one?
I can't